Does your well pump continually click on and off while the water is running, or does water coming from the faucets pulsate? If so, you likely have a bad pressure tank, and it's really important to replace it with a new one. And if you have any plumbing skills at all, you can do it yourself in only a couple of hours, and you'll save yourself lots of money in plumbing fees to boot. A pressure tank has a rubber bladder that traps a bubble of air above the water. As the tank fills with water, it compresses the air. When the pump shuts off, that compressed air keeps the water flowing to your house. But when the rubber bladder fails, the entire tank fills with water, which is called waterlogging. That means that the pump continually switches on and off to keep that water flowing, and that's very hard on your very expensive well pump. Test the tank's bladder by depressing the air valve at the top. If water squirts out instead of air, the tank is full of water and needs to be replaced. But it's also possible that that air valve is blocked, so if no water comes out, try one more test. Wiggle the tank back and forth. It'll be very heavy if it's completely full of water. You can't fix a tank with a bad bladder, so you have to replace it. But before you start ripping out the old tank, you should go buy everything you need. After all, you want this to go as smoothly and quickly as possible because your house won't have any water until you get that new tank up and running. When you pick up the new tank, try to get the same size and if possible the same brand as the one you're replacing, so you'll know that everything will hook up exactly the same. They sell pressure tanks at most home centers or plumbing supply stores. If you're at all handy, you probably have all the tools you'll need except for maybe a couple of pipe wrenches and either thread dope or Teflon tape. Shut off both the circuit breaker to the well and the wall switch near the pressure tank. Then hook up a garden hose to the tank, open the valve and drain the water. Open up a few faucets in the rest of the house to speed up the process. The tank may not drain completely because the rubber bladder could be trapping the water. If the water stops running and the tank is still heavy, you have two options. After disconnecting the tank, muscle the partially empty tank out of the house if it's not too heavy. Or if you're in the basement, lay it on its side near a floor drain and drill a hole in the top half of the tank. Disconnect the water line by loosening the union fitting. Lift the tank out of the way and lay it on its side. Unscrew the water line so you can use it on the new tank. Smear pipe dope or wrap Teflon tape on the threads of the water line and thread it onto the elbow. Make sure the water line is facing directly up so it'll mate with the coupling. Thread the coupling together, tighten it up, and this tank is ready for service. Now don't forget, before you turn the power back on and fill the tank full of water, replace the old pressure switch with a brand new one. The new one should be preset to the correct pressure, but read the directions that come with the new switch to get everything right.